year, knowing that we are right on the verge of winning it all, you're not a good professional.
Okay, thanks a lot, Michael.
You're welcome.
Now, Michael Jordan's ready for his press conference.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to start. Obviously, we have Ron Schuler, Senior Vice President of Major League Operations, and Michael Jordan here. We're going to start off with a short statement from Ron Schuler, then we'll open it up to questions. When we get to the question part, I want to try to keep it as smooth and orderly as possible, so we ask you to raise your hand. Michael will signal the next question, and we'll try to move it around the room so that no one dominates the questioning. But at this time, I'll turn it over to Ron Schuler.
Thank you all for coming out here today and getting a glimpse of Michael. After watching the progress that Michael has made in the past 2 months, I'd like to announce that the Chicago White Sox are extending an invitation to Major League Camp in Sarasota. He'll be reporting there on the 15th with the catchers and the pitchers. And at this time, I'd also like to announce that we are signing him to a Nashville contract. Michael?
Hope you got a pen.
I got it.
Thank you, sir. I don't know what the date is.
7.
Thank you.
With that, we'll open it up. I'm sure you have a few questions. Fire away.
First question, please. Right here.
You said when you retired that you wanted to get away from us. Well, here we are, and you wanted to spend more time with your family. Well, if you play baseball, you'll be away from them twice as long as you were playing basketball.
That's not true. You know, we spend a lot more time in cities than what we did in basketball. You know, basketball, we end one night. At least here, you got 3 and 4 nights, which I can take my family with me. I've certainly talked to my family about it. I didn't anticipate being here with you guys. I try to do it as quietly as possible, but sometimes you can't do it that way. And here I am back in front of you guys for another press conference. But my family is still very important to me, and I certainly would take them on as many trips as they want to go. I can do that really right now because my kids are not really in school yet. So if I was going to do it, this is the perfect time to do it before I have the other commitments with my kids in school. So it's one of the things that my wife and I talked about, and my brothers and my sisters, my mother, and they said this is probably the best time to do it before the kids get old and they're in school and they can't really travel as much. So you know, we've kind of picked this as the only time I have an opportunity to do it.
I was trying to do that.
Were you a little bit nervous at all about the whole thing today, performing before the cameras and letting the public perhaps see for the first time you do this?
I was a little nervous, you know, because a lot of people would not understand the progress that I've gone through and could easily be misinterpreted for whatever reasons, especially when the people don't know exactly what the process that I've gone through. That was a nervousness that someone could really don't understand, you know, the progress that I've made. But I'm still moving forward. I'm still improving, I think, and evidently, you know, they feel that I have improved a little bit, and I just got to keep working hard. So I was a little nervous, but you know, once I got out there, you know, I just go through the motions and go through my normal routine, and you know, you're going to make your judgments one way or the other. I realize that, but you know, I've been putting a lot of hard work out there to get to this point, and I'm not going to stop now because I have something in, you know, in focus and a goal to try to achieve, and you know, I'm going to keep improving as much as I have to.
And the possibility exists you may not even make it. Are you ready for that, really?
I'm ready for it. I mean, I've never been afraid to fail. You know, that's something that you know, you have to deal with in reality, is that you're not always going to be successful. And I think I'm strong enough as a person to accept failure. You know, but I will not accept not trying. You know, that's something that I couldn't accept, and at least I tried. So if I fail, you know, I'm not going to feel bad about it. You know, I deal with it in whatever fashion that you must deal with failure and move on, you know, but I'm not afraid to fail. We've talked about that, and I've mentioned it that, you know, if they really feel I have the progress or the possibility or the potential, then certainly I would consider that, and I would never put that totally out. I would never count myself out.
You spoke of the hard work. Why is it so important to you, after all that you've accomplished, to do this? Why do you want to do this, and why are you so serious about it?
Because I have an opportunity to do it. I want to thank the White Sox for giving me an opportunity to come and use their facility to get myself into shape to at least try it. So retirement is a state of your life that you get to choose and do whatever you choose to do. And I chose to try to play baseball just to see if I could. I didn't do it as a distraction. I'm not doing it as a media hog or looking for the media exposure from it. I try to do it without letting the media know. So it isn't something that I'm searching for, but I had to search within myself to see if I had that opportunity, and once I got the opportunity, to see if I can do it. And it was one of those wishes that my father had, and I had when I was a kid. And I just got an opportunity to do that.
Michael, how much have you improved on since you first started?
In terms of
all your best baseball
all around, I think I've improved a lot. Just learning the drills, practicing the drills, enhancing them. I think I've improved tremendously from when I first got here. My motto's been to Herm. Herm can tell you that every day it's been a hard-working activity for me, and it's no gimmick. That's my motto. It was no gimmick from day one. I came out to put the effort there, and I felt I have every day, and I will continue to do so until if I fail or if I succeed. But I'm gonna put the work out there, and at least I know that if I fail, I know I put the effort there. It's the best shape that I've ever been in, and even playing basketball.
From where you're at now, for sure that you're getting this shot because of your ability and the progress you made, versus the fact that you're Michael Jordan and you'll fill the seats.
Well, I respect the White Sox organization, Ron Schuler, as well as Jerry Reinsdorf, in their opinions, and I've given them so many opportunities to tell me, hey, if this is a hoax, let me know. Just let me know. Be a friend first, and let me know if it's something that I can't achieve. And they could tell because they have an eye for the game, and they've given me some confidence, and that's put me to this position right now.
This whole scenario become serious rather than casual, a casual adventure into baseball?
I think once I retired, I knew what I was doing. I've talked about it for a couple of years to Jerry. Jerry thought I was more or less kidding. And when I did retire from basketball and look for other challenges, I took it. I looked at it in a very serious attitude, with a very serious attitude, and he gave me the stage to try to do it. He initiated all the the work things that I've been going through with Herm and Billy Melton and Mike Madork, whatever his name is, Eminem. I ain't gonna try to say it, but those guys have been there every day I've been there, and I want to thank them for being there with me. And then some of the players start to come in and help out a whole lot, which meant a lot to me.
Michael, we all know that you love a challenge. Does it spur you on to hear people say, oh, he can't do it, he can't do it?
Well, I mean, it really shows that you don't really give a guy a chance. That's judging him before he's, convicted. I mean, I think in society you always try to build things on positive attitude, and yet, here I was trying to do something that was totally innocent, and yet I wasn't getting any positive support except for my closest friends and some people who, just wanted to see it happen. But a lot of people was knocking me without seeing my skills, without ever seeing me work at it, and that's some of the things that you have to deal with in life. But I used it as energy to come in and work out every day and try to prove people wrong. But I'm an optimist person. I mean, I think every situation in a positive sense. No matter if it's going to turn out to be a negative, at least I give it a positive thought. And a lot of times I didn't think my situation was given a positive thought. But that's just the way some people's opinions are.
Michael, when you retired, you said you were kind of tired of the media and kind of the whole situation. Have you come the full cycle and realized it's not going to be a problem this time?
No, I don't love you guys by no means. I haven't come to that complete circle, but I respect you. I always have, and I knew that once I take this approach or this challenge, that I would have to deal with you again, and I've been doing that thus far. So it isn't anything that I'm afraid to deal with.
White Sox contract compared to your last Bulls contract?
It isn't for the money, let's say it that way. You know, it's not for the money. When I first talked to Jerry and I first talked to Ron, I said, no matter what you pay me, it's not the money. It's just the idea of trying to succeed in doing this. So hopefully, if some of the players are upset with me, it isn't a money thing, because I'm certainly not making any money.
Something for yourself or your others or your father's memory, or?
I feel like I got a lot to prove to myself, first of all, and to my friends and family, and to certainly my father, who I know is still watching me and watching over me. Yeah, I mean, that's a good driving force for me right now, and I'm gonna continue to do that until one thing happens: either I fail, and I feel happy with my contribution, or I succeed. And one of the two is gonna happen sooner or later.
Michael, if you do go to the minors, how long would you give yourself?
Excuse me?
How long would you give yourself in the minors?
I think that's something that the team would have to determine. I would give myself as long as the team gives me a good, honest shot of, moving up. I would let them make that decision. They usually make that decision. It's not my decision.
If it does,
62 games scheduled during the regular season, and that you put a lot more hours into it than you do in the NBA?
Yeah, it's a little more difference in terms of the output. I think basketball goes an 8-month season. Baseball is, 6-month season, so it's a little bit different in terms of length, but you play every day, which isn't that bad. I don't consider that bad. I mean, sometimes I wish I could have played basketball every day and get the 8 months cut down to 6 months, so it isn't that bad, I don't think.
Say you're a
work out with the
contact
White
hitter.
Sox, would you pursue another team?
No, I haven't thought about that, even though I've had some other people ask. I mean, but I've thought about doing it here in Chicago. This is where I am. If it doesn't work out, I don't know if I'm going to continue on. I mean, I feel that if I really can't do it with the White Sox, I'm going to have a tough time doing it anywhere.
As a basketball player, you obviously knew what your strengths were. As a baseball player, what do you feel is your greatest strengths right now?
Well, I mean, I'm just really testing my skills. I haven't been outside. I haven't caught. I like to feel that my speed and certainly my defense is going to be one of my strong points. And hitting is something that I'm going to have to adjust to. And it's all a matter of guessing what the pitcher is going to throw you and reacting to it. And one thing that Billy and some of the other guys have taught me is how to react in certain situations and certain fundamentals of the swing. As long as I perfect those, and get myself prepared, then I'm gonna have to. It's still a guessing game with the pitcher and all, and being disciplined to swing at what you feel is a strike and what you feel, and let balls go. So, I think my biggest strength right now is my defense.
Feedback have you gotten from some of the other White Sox players you've had a chance to talk to since you started this?
I've gotten some great feedback from some of the players, some welcoming situations. Joey Cora has been here for the last 2 weeks. Ozzy's been here. Frank has been here to give me some of his pointers about hitting. Derek Lee, who was with Minnesota, just got traded to Montreal. He's been a constant workout partner with me, and Mike Huff. So I've gotten some good support from other players, and I just tried to pick out tidbits from their success and implement them in my skills and see if I can, improve as a baseball player.
Over here. Question over here.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a tough transition? You're going from a non-spitting sport to a spitting sport.
I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference. I mean, at least it's allowed in this new sport. So if I choose to do it, then, I won't be viewed as a bad guy in a sense.
How will you determine what baseball success is? I mean, will making a major league roster, will being a contributor, how will you?
Well, I mean, when you come into a situation that you're not familiar with, you got to have small range goals. My small range goals to this point is to get down to training camp and become an established person there and with the skills there. Once I'm there, then you move your expectations up to trying to make the team. My expectation is not to go and try to make an all-star, win MVP, or hit 300. It's just to try to make the team at this particular time. Once I make the team, then you make smaller goals.
What wonder, Ron? The atmosphere is going to be different in Sarasota than it has been in the past. Are you, and maybe more importantly, Gene, concerned about the distraction aspect?
No, we talked about this Saturday night when Gene and I sat down together at Sox Fest and made this decision about Michael. And We feel a lot of it we control. First of all, Michael is going to be so busy learning things that he won't be available as much as, say, a Frank Thomas or somebody else. But secondly, we have to control it, and we're busy, and obviously we're going to ask cooperation from you folks, but he's down there to learn and work on his skills, and obviously we realize the media has got to be a part of this thing, but you know, first of all and foremost, he has got to be there to work on his talents, and we're going to give him every opportunity.
Finally made on Michael.
Saturday night.
Baseball coming at you about 90 miles an hour. Nothing tougher.
Well, I know Ted Williams did say that, but he never played basketball, he never played football, he only played baseball. So, I mean, it's hard to judge that. I could easily say basketball players are probably in the best shape than any other profession, but I never played football, I never played soccer, so, you know, the opinions are usually from guys who have played that profession.
What background on the number 45 on your jersey?
I'm enjoying my activity of getting up and driving an hour and 15 minutes down to work out. It gives me time to think and go through my ritual every day. I've enjoyed that, you know, to this point. You know, it's a lot bigger hype than what I wanted it to be, but evidently this is something that no one really thought I could do or would want to do. So it's become a lot bigger than what I wanted it to be, but it hasn't taken the joy away from what I'm trying to achieve by no means.
Post hitter or a contact hitter?
To this point, I'm a contact hitter right now. I'm learning the difference between one and the next. You know, I think I'm hitting for open space in the field. I'm not hitting to try to knock it over the fence. You know, I'm hitting just to make contact and put it in the right positions on the field.
Michael, what about the number 45?
Excuse me?
Have you really faced quality pitching to this point?
No, I hadn't faced Jack McDowell or Jason Beret or none of those guys, and I expect to do that down in training camp. But Shu's not a bad pitcher, so I faced him.
Hey, Ron.
Not bad, real bad.
Hey, Michael, what about...
What things in your mind does Michael have to work on, both in the field and at the plate?
Well, I think in the field, as Michael said, his first step quickness, obviously from the other sport, I think is real good. He's got good hands, and he has arm strength, and those are things you look for defensively. The big thing is going to be the hitting, and I think it's to the point now he's worked so hard here, his work ethics have been phenomenal, but we have to get him outside to find out, and it's really going to come down to the hitting and those pitchers, the wind conditions, what it makes the ball do and stuff like that. And he's going to have some sore hands for a couple of weeks down there, but he'll catch up. He'll make some adjustments, and like I said, he's going to be putting a lot of hours in there, and we're going to give him every opportunity to get better.
Michael, when are you going down to spring training?
What's your first day?
When am I going down? I'm expected to be there the 15th. I wouldn't tell you if I had to, no way.
Michael, can you talk a little bit about your jersey number that you discussed with
My
the White
jersey
Sox?
number? 45. I had 45 when I was junior high, you know, in basketball. And I couldn't wear 45 when I got to the varsity level because my brother had 45, so I chose 23. Couldn't have 23 here because Robin Ventura, even though he says negotiations are opening. I'm going to stick with 45, I think.
Michael, have you made the decision to go to the minors? Will you go to the minors?
I haven't made that decision. They haven't asked me that decision yet. I think that's the team's decision whenever the time comes. And certainly, you know, my decision is based on what they feel.
There's a chance if they say you got to go to AA or AAA that you might not go?
No, I mean, it's not a chance. I mean, if they asked me to go to AA or AAA and said that, you know, work on your potential of, you know, moving back up to the major leagues, I certainly would do that. It depends on the time that they feel that I must stay there. If it's a 5-year process, then I would certainly consider other ways.
Question up here.
Michael, do you expect pitchers will throw at you during spring training just because of who you are?
I expect that. I expect them to come inside quite a bit, up around the chin. I'm willing to take a couple of hits before I approach the mound. No.
I already did that. Just tell him I already did
that. Yeah, he's already hitting it.
If Charles Barkley tomorrow says he's going to quit basketball and change to play soccer, what will be your advice to him?
Good job. I wish he would. I mean, I would give him positive reinforcement. I think I wouldn't say he can't do it. You never know until a guy puts the effort there to say that he can't do it. And if Charles wants to retire tomorrow and play soccer, I'm supporting him.
Natural for you to swing the bat?
What you think of the Bulls so far at this point in the season?
I'm very surprised. I'm very happy. I always felt that at some point in time, the guys got to step up and earn their own spotlight, and I think they have. Don't get me wrong. I'm very, very happy with their process. I think they certainly got a good chance of, getting the 4th title. There's so much parity in the league that, it's tough to get a good role in the league. So I think Phil's done a heck of a job. If any time he should get Coach of the Year, it should be this year. And Scotty, don't underestimate his MVP opportunities. Ever since he's come back, they're 27-5 or 27-6 or something like that, and that's good for them. I think that it's a good foundation for them to build on from here on in.
Hold on, we have time for 3 more questions. The next one's right up here.
Ron, obviously we're all here because of the possibility of him making the big club. Can you put a number on that for us? 10%, 20%, 50%? You have any idea his chances of making the big club now?
It's tough to put a number on it. All I can say is really the level of competition will dictate how far he goes and whether he would make the big league club or whether he has to go to a minor league club. Obviously, I think Michael Jordan's name, these pitchers are going to make it awful tough on him. I don't think anybody's going to say, I'm going to throw it down the middle and let Michael get a hit. As our pitchers in spring training, he's going to get a good work on over in our batting practice as well. But they're going to come after him. But I think in the end, just like the rest of ours, he'll have to earn the job. Nothing's going to be given to him. We're going to go north with the best 25.
Next question.
Yeah, Michael, in basketball, you're moving and shooting for a stationary target. In baseball, you're aiming for a moving target. Compare the hard part about basketball with the hard part about baseball. Which is harder? Is one harder than another?
Well, I mean, yes, there's some adjustments you have to make by far. We're moving and going towards a still target. What I've been doing for the last 15 years, I guess, and it took me a while to get those skills. And now I'm doing just the opposite, staying still and hitting a moving object. And I guess the tough part is to try to pick a spot that you can meet that object. And when it can just come still and meet it. And I think that's the part of the talent that I'm trying to inherit or learn, is to pick a spot where you feel the ball is going to meet your bat and watch it. And that's the difficult part right now.
Harder than what you were doing, or harder than you thought?
Depends on how much work you put at it, to say if it's harder or not. I would say it's harder now because my skills have been, just the opposite. But I'm learning, I'm getting better of doing that, and it's improving, which I hope it continues to. If it continues to, now I'm gonna be right where I want to in a period of time.
Before we get to the last question, Michael mentioned February 15th that he'd be in Sarasota. There'll be a media advisory over here as to what the conditions will be on that day as far as access. The White Sox spring training complex will not be open prior to February 15th, but you can find all the details and guidelines in the media advisory over here on the table. Last question right here.
Michael, have you thought of studying film of any current or past ball players that might have similar physical statistics like you, such as a Dave Winfield?
I've looked at a lot of film, and I've looked at technique and the fundamentals, and it's been a good studying form for me. And I looked at Frank Thomas, I looked at John Olerud, I've looked at Ellis Burks. So all those guys I've kind of picked up little fundamentals from and tried to learn and implement in my, my swing and my fundamentals. So, and that's been very helpful. I studied quite a bit. Who am I most like? Well, naturally, I got the size of Dave Winfield. My bat position, I don't know. I don't think I can answer that because I'm hitting. I'm not really critiquing myself. John Olerud. No, I'm just kidding.
If you make a 25-hit round special, how long and
I don't know. I never put a time frame on when I was going to play basketball. So as long as I love the game and things are, going my way, I play it. If I lose the love or it's time for me to move on, as you know, I move on.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
It may be a bit ironic, Michael Jordan signing a baseball contract at half court of a basketball arena. We are here at IIT. It's Keating Hall, the Illinois Institute of Technology. Ron Schuler, Gene Lamont making the decision Saturday night at Sox Fest to sign Michael to a AAA contract with the Nashville Sounds, inviting him to spring training and a non-guaranteed contract as a non-roster player. It's up to Michael now to make the 25-man roster. I'm Steve Cashel here with Dyrell Joyner, and it's official now. We saw it here.
You know, this day could be a very historical day, because just think if he does go on, you know, to make the squad, to make the Major League 25-man roster, just think what he'll do to basically turn the game around, the marketing aspect of it. You know, little teeny markets like Milwaukee, Seattle, gets an opportunity to catch a Michael Jordan. It will add a lot of people in the stands, and I'm pretty sure this has a major reason for a lot of these activities with Michael coming to the White Sox and trying out with this ball club. But again, today could turn a lot of things around in Major League Baseball.
All right, sitting next to us now between Dyrell and myself is Larry Monroe, the Vice President of Minor League Operations, as Michael Jordan leaves the Keating Hall at IIT right here. And